Eno, eno. Ka tira e te pirenga e te whare e tūnei, ki te whare pātaka te umu kai o hau. Hei whakatau ana ki a tātou e noho tahi ai i rotu i a koe, kei te whare e tūmai mo ake tonu atu. Kei te āhua o ngā mātu e tūpuna mi kei, hei whakatoa mi ki te mauri o te whenua ki roto i tō tātou nei taki wā. E mihi nei ki a koutou o ngā mātau waka, a haramai rā i roto i tō tātou nei whare e tūnei. Talofa lava, malole lei, whakalofa lahi atu, i sa bolavanaka, ki rana katoa tō, taloha ni. Namaste, konnichiwa, ni hao, salam alaikum. E nei ngā reo o ta hāpuri, tēnei ko Porirua. Engari ko te reo tūtahi, ki reo ngā mātu e tūpuna i whakatoa, mo tēnei reanga me ki te reo te wairu o ngā mātu e tūpuna, e mihi ake ki a koutou ki a Ngāti tō ki a tātou katoa. Nau mai haramai ki ta hāpuri a Porirua. E tino aroha nui ki a koutou e ki te atu ki a koutou. Hei tautoko ana tō mātou nei rōpu hau, tō mātou nei kaunihira o tō tātou nei takiwā a Porirua, kei te take e tino a tāhua. Nō reira koutou rā e mihi atu rā ki o koutou. Nō reira ka tunu atu ki ai ki te atu runga rawa e homai ngea tuna aroha kei rungi a tātou. Kei rungi a tātou ka tae mai me ki ngā marae maha me ki a tō tātou nei takiwā. Ngā horauta e mihi ake ki a koutou. Marae roa tātou e noho ana ki a tātou e mihi ake. Tō tātou nei marae hongo eka e mihi ake ki a koutou katoa. Nō reira e mihi nui ki a tātou e noho ai. Nō reira e pā e mihi ana ki a koe e homai tau wairua ta aroha kei rugi a tātou. Turu whakamaua ki a tīna, haumi e hui e. Kia ora. E tu.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Nau mai haramai ki tēnei hui. Taku pārai, te kaumātua o Ngāti Toa Rangatira, tēnā koe. Te mea, me ngā kai kaunihira, tēnā koutou katoa. My name's Wendy Walker. I'm the Chief Executive here at Porirua City Council, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all here tonight to this first meeting of our new triennium, a word that's not often used except in council circles. But so it's fantastic to see friends and family here for our newly elected mayor and council members. I declare, this is the only time I ever get to open a meeting, I declare this first triennial meeting of the Porirua City Council for the 2022-2025 triennium open. I note the apology from Councillor Izzy Ford. Are there any other apologies? I now call on the Mayor to make and attest her official oath of office.
Thank you. I, Anita Cownan-Baker, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interests of Porirua City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Porirua City Council, virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act.
I'll now formally hand to the Mayor to undertake the rest of the hui.
Kia ora koutou, talofa lava, kia ana, malololei, taloa nei, whakalofa and Nisabula Vinaka. Thank you to everyone for being with the new Porirua City Council this evening as we are sworn in to serve the city for the next term. I wish to acknowledge and thank Ngāti Toa Rangatira as mana whenua of Porirua. The Council is committed to working alongside the iwi as it charts its course post-settlement. We want to support your work, knowing that, as Taku Parae has often said, what is good for Ngāti Toa is good for Porirua. Congratulations to the new councillors who are about to be sworn in and to your whānau and supporters for being here. Porirua is a diverse community and good decisions for our people will require the sound judgment and leadership of us all, supported by a strong and dedicated officer team. It is important to recognise that once again, Porirua people have broadly elected a council that looks like them. While there are other parts of the country that do not deliver a representative council, I am proud to come from a city that election after election ensures that most of our major communities get a seat at the table. Our elected council is going to need to work together and at times to disagree agreeably as the challenges of the next 3 years make themselves felt. The city has made decisions over the last 3 years that will benefit the restoration of our harbour, that demonstrate our commitment to climate change, and it moves us forward significantly improving our infrastructure, our wastewater treatment plant and network improvements in water, stormwater and wastewater. We are on the right track and we cannot afford to rest at this point as we ensure we deliver those infrastructure improvements. We find out what the three waters will mean for us in practice, and as we work to ease rates increases that significantly impact the cost of living pressures for Porirua people. As some of you know, I am more of a person of action than strategy. I like to get things done, and that's why it's important to recognise that the most important thing we can do now is to support the health of our harbour, is to revegetate our catchment. In plain English, that means to plant trees. Over the first 3 years in office, the Council oversaw the planting of 245,000 trees. We're going to do better this time, and I aim to plant 350,000 trees, so that will be over 500,000 trees in 6 years. It's important, it's practical, and it meets so many of our environmental goals. It also something that schools and our community groups, neighbourhoods and individuals can get involved with. The time ahead is not going to be easy. The world is stressed and under more pressure than it has ever been in a generation. I want to signal to everyone here tonight that I recognise that. While I'm humbled at my re-election and the fact that over 70% of Porirua people showed their confidence in my leadership, I also want to recognise the fact that not even 4 in 1 of our people voted. It's easy to blame the system or mistrust in government generally, but what I've thought about, what I can do as Mayor to improve the connection between myself as an elected member, the wider council administration and the communities of our city. We have to improve people's voice in the work the council does. We have to better explain what we're doing. be it roading, maintenance or core infrastructure, and why we are doing it. We must also improve the way we take on board and act on residents' concerns and issues. That is my commitment to you all. I feel very confident that Porirua communities are in good heart. By working together, listening to one another, and the Council ensuring that it has resources dedicated to the correct issues, we can continue to make good progress. There is little doubt that the future structure of local government in our region will come under pressure. With 9 councils for 500,000 people, we owe it to residents and ratepayers to consider whether the current structure meets their needs in the terms of costs and the ability to simply get things done. We shouldn't be scared of this, and I want to let you know that I will be a strong advocate for us to deal with many changes that are being sent to us by central government. Reshaping our region will likely be given the issues under water reforms. As always, I will be available to any of our citizens who need help or assistance. The Council will work as a team, and we will reach out to our communities to ensure we get it right as often as we can. Thank you. So I'll now get about the business of swearing in our councillors. Which is where? No, just, yeah. That would be good.
So, Councillor Mike Duncan, first up.
I, Michael Dermot Duncan, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skills and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of Porirua City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Porirua City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987 or any other act.
Councillor Kathleen Filo.
Kia ora koutou, ko tainui te waka, ko Ngāti Tō Rangatira te iwi, ko aua Kathleen Elizabeth Filo. Ko taku kupu tēnei, ka tūturu I au, ki tāku e pono nei, e tōtika nei, e mātou nei, ngā kauinga katoa. Hei painga mo te rohi o Porirua City. I runga I te mana, kua rero mai I au, hei mema o te kaunihira o Porirua City. I raro anō e te tiri kāwanatanga, ārohi o te tau 2002, te tiri pārungu, huinga o kaua a kāwanatanga ārohi. Ko 1948 māwhetu me ētahi atu ture rānei. Kia ora.
Councillor Mose Ngalo.
Maloni kainga, haketai mo te awanoa, ko au a Mose, ngai ke ngalo, ko takukupu tēnei, ka tutuki I a au, ki taku e pono nei, e tōtika nei, e mātou nei ngā kauenga katoa, hei painga mō te rohe o Porirua City, I runga te mana kua riro mai I a au, hei mema o te kaunihira o Porirua City, I raro anō I te ture, ka wanatanga a rohe o te taurua manumarua. Te turu pārango, huinga, ōkawa, a ka wanatanga a rohe. Ko tahi mano, iwarau, waru tekau mā whitu. Me ētahi atu ture rānei, e whakariti I Porirua I te rea, 31 o Whiringa a Nuku 2022. Kia ora.
Councillor Jeff Hayward.
Te whakapute, kia ora mai anō, aroha mai. Te whakapukitanga a te koromatua he mana te mama rānei. Ko a Jeff Eric Hayward. Ka tuku kupu tēnei. Ka tūtuki I au ki tako e pono nei, e tōtika nei, e mātou kei ngā kawanga katoa he painga mō te rohe o Porirua City. E runga I te mana kua riro mai, I a au hei member o te kaunihira o Porirua City I raro anō, I te ture kawanatanga a rohe, o te tau 2002, te ture pārongo, huinga o kawa a kawanatanga a rohe, ko tahi mano iwarau, wara takau mā whitu me etahi atu ture rānei.
Councillor Tracy Johnson.
I, Tracy Edwina Johnson, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of Porirua City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as member of the Porirua City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information Act and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Councillor Ross Leggett.
Ross Norton Leggett, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of Porirua City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as member of the Porirua City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Councillor Josh Trillin.
I, Joshua Andrea Francis Trillin, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of Porirua City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as a member of the Porirua City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Councillor Nathan Waddle.
I, Nathan Alexander Ryan Waddle, declare that I will faithfully and impartially, and according to the best of my skill and judgment, execute and perform in the best interests of Porirua City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as member of the Porirua City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
Councillor Kylie Weehapi.
I, Kylie Yulia Weehapi, declare that I will faithfully and impartially and according to the best of my skill and judgment execute and perform in the best interest of Porirua City the powers, authorities and duties vested in or imposed upon me as member of the Porirua City Council by virtue of the Local Government Act 2002, the Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987, or any other act.
I formally hand the meeting over to Mayor Anita Baker.
Thank you. So now all the councillors have sworn in. We will move on to the first part of the meeting. So the first item is the 5.1 explanation of legislation affecting the council. So I'd like to move that, seconded by Councillor Trillin. Chief Executive, would you like to come and explain it? Sorry guys, I know it's going to be a little bit long.
It's not very exciting, but it's important. The Local Government Official Information and Meetings Act 1987. This Act applies to every local authority in New Zealand. Its overriding principle is that information is to be made available unless there is good reason under the Act to withhold it. The purposes of the Act are to provide for the availability to the public of official information held by local authorities and to promote the open and public transaction of business at meetings of local authorities in order to enable more effective participation by the public in the actions and decisions of local authorities and to promote the accountability of local authority members and officials. To provide for proper access by each person to official information relating to that person, to protect official information in the deliberations of local authorities to the extent consistent with the public interests and the preservation of personal privacy. Official information includes virtually all information held by a local authority, its members, officers or employees, and includes file records, computer data, plans, photographs and manuals. It does not include the following: information contained in library or museum material made or acquired and preserved solely for reference or exhibition purposes, or information which is held by a local authority solely as an agent or for the sole purpose of safe custody, and which is so held on behalf of a person other than a local authority, or information contained in any correspondence or communication that has taken place between the Office of the Ombudsman and any local authority and that relates to an investigation conducted by an ombudsman other than information that came into existence before the commencement of that investigation, and information contained in any correspondence or communication that has taken place between the Office of the Privacy Commissioner and any local authority and that relates to any investigation conducted by the Privacy Commissioner under the Privacy Act 1993, other than information that came into existence before the commencement of that investigation. The Act details the reasons for which official information may be withheld. Conclusive reasons for withholding information are where release would be likely to prejudice maintenance of the law or would endanger the safety of any person. There are other general reasons for withholding information. Every meeting must be open to the public unless the council or committee resolves to exclude the public. Members of the news media are deemed to be members of the public and therefore the same conditions apply as to the general public. Copies of agendas and reports, except those to be dealt with in non-public, must be made available for members of the public. Likewise, the public may inspect the minutes of any open meeting of the authority. Local Authorities Members' Interest Act 1968. This matter is covered in detail in the Audit Officer's Handbook, a guide to the Local Authorities Members' Interest Act 1968. The Act deals in the main with two matters: contracts entered into by members of local authorities, restrictions on members discussing or voting on matters in which they have a pecuniary interest. The Act provides that no person may be elected or appointed to a local authority if that person is concerned or interested in any contract made by the local authority if in respect to that contract payments in excess of $25,000 per annum are made. The same limits apply to subcontracts. This limit may be extended with prior approval of the Audit Office. The Act also applies where a member's interest in a contract arises through an incorporated company and where the member or the member's spouse owns 10% or more of the capital of the company. A member can also be disqualified through an interest his or her spouse may have in some other type of business, such as a partnership. There are a number of exemptions which under certain circumstances may be granted in accordance with the Act. The Act also prohibits a member of a local authority from voting or taking part in any discussion on any matter in which the member has a pecuniary interest. Such interest must be declared when the matter is raised. The Crimes Act 1961. The legislation requires that elected members be briefed on this Act, in particular sections 99, 105 and 105A. The sections referred to are contained in Part 6 of the Act and relate to bribery and corruption. Section 99 provides definitions of words contained in the Act. An official includes any member or employee of any local authority, and bribe means any money, valuable consideration, office or employment, or any benefit, whether direct or indirect. Sections 105 and 105A describe offences under this section of the Act, and Council is advised that every official who accepts a bribe with the intent to influence an official. Likewise, anybody commits any offence who offers a bribe with the intent to influence an official. Additionally, any person who corruptly uses or discloses information acquired in an official capacity to obtain an advantage or pecuniary gain commits an offence. Secret Commissions Act 1910. This Act details offences in relation to receiving gifts and rewards for procuring contracts. Every person commits an offence who gives or offers a gift as an inducement or reward for any act, obstructs, diverts or interferes with the affairs of council with the intent to obtain a benefit or other consideration, makes a contract and then fails to notify any pecuniary interest of a partner or immediate family also applies. Advises any person to enter into a contract with a third person and receives a gift or consideration for that advice. The Financial Markets Conduct Act 2013. Under the Financial Markets Conduct Act 2013, essentially places elected members in the same position as company directors whenever the council offers financial products such as an issue of debt or equity securities. Elected members may be held personally liable if documents that are registered under the Act, such as a product disclosure statement, contain false or misleading statements. Elected members may also be liable if the requirements of the Act are not met in relation to offers of financial products. Health and Safety at Work Act 2015. The Health and Safety at Work Act 2015 is New Zealand's primary workplace health and safety legislation. The Act allocates duties to those people who are in the best position to control risks to health and safety as appropriate to their role in the workplace and for the person conducting a business or undertaking, a PCBU, i.e. in this case the council, to ensure, as far as is reasonably practicable, the safety of workers and others who may be impacted by the work the business undertakes. One of the significant changes is the introduction of officers, who is any person occupying a position in relation to the business or undertaking that allows the person to exercise significant influence over the management of the business or undertaking. For the purposes of the Health and Safety at Work Act, elected council members and the chief executive are by default identified as officers. Officers have obligations of due diligence as follows: to acquire and keep up to date knowledge of work, health and safety matters, and to gain an understanding of the nature and of the operations of the business or undertaking of the PCBU, and generally of the hazards and risks associated with those operations, and to ensure that the PCBU has available for use and uses appropriate resources and processes to eliminate or minimise risks to health and safety from work carried out as part of the conduction of the business or undertaking, and to ensure that the PCBU has appropriate processes for receiving and considering information regarding incidents, hazards and risks, and for responding in a timely way to that information, and to ensure that the PCBU has and implements processes for complying with any duty or obligation of the PCBU under this Act, and to verify the provision and use of the resources and processes referred to in paragraph C to E. The duties of the officers and of the PCBU are independent of each other. This means if a PCBU has failed to meet its duty, but the officers exercise due diligence, then they would not be personally liable for the health and safety failings. An elected councillor is exempt from the liabilities of reckless conduct or failure to comply in relation to their due diligence duties. That would be me.
Thank you, Wendy. Everybody can now wake up again. Unfortunately, that was compulsory part of the meeting. So I've moved it. So all those in favour? Aye. All those against? Carried. The next item on the agenda is the appointment of the Deputy Mayor. So I would like to move the report. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Duncan, sorry. So I'd like to, yes, I am, moving that under the Section 41A of the Local Government Act 2002, Kylie Wehapi is appointed Deputy Mayor for Porirua for 2022 to 2025 triennium. So, all those in favour? Aye. All those against? Carried. So... The next item on the agenda is the committee structure. So I'll move it first, seconded by, thank you, sorry, Councillor Haywood. So I actually have to read it, I'm sorry guys. So the committee structure, we first start off with the Te Puna Kōrero meeting, which we have two chairs, joint chairs this time. So we have Ross Leggett and Josh Trillin, and the rest of the committee is on, councillors on that. We move to the chair of the Audit and Risk Committee. We have our external chair, Warren Allen, and in your papers it says Izzy Ford, but she's withdrawn this morning, so we have got Nathan Waddell stepping in there, and then we have Councillor Duncan, Councillor Philo, Councillor Johnson, Councillor Leggett and Councillor Trillin. The CEO's Committee is chaired by Councillor Duncan, myself as the Deputy. The balance of the committee is Councillor Ford, Councillor Johnson, Councillor Leggett, Councillor Waddell, Councillor Wehapi and Taku Parai. Dog Hearing Committee stays as last year, myself as the chair and made up with Councillor Duncan and Councillor Wehapi. The Wastewater Treatment Plant and Joint Committee is Councillor Duncan, Councillor Philo and Councillor Haywood, and they vote on that chair at the first meeting because it's a joint chair with Wellington, but I would expect Councillor Haywood to take that chair when that comes up. Chair of the District Licensing Committee is Councillor Deputy Mayor Wehapi, and Councillor Duncan is Deputy. Councillor Ford is going on the Creative Communities Assessment, and we reappoint Taku Parai as our kamatua for council. We reappoint Warren Allen as our external chair to the Audit Risk Committee. So all those in favour? Aye. All those against? Carried. The final report on the agenda is 5.4, the setting of the date of the first council meeting, which is to be Thursday the 10th at 8:30 a.m. Can I have I'll move it, seconded by Deputy Mayor Lehapi. All those in favour? Aye. All those against? Carried. So this completes the formal business of our first meeting of the 2002 to 2025 triennium. So I'd like to close the meeting. Thank you all for coming and listening to a couple of very long reports. You're all invited to the Performing Arts Studio for refreshments next, but please stand for the national. Councillors stay for photos.
Ino tātou, kia tau katoa te atu whai o te tātou rai te te aro te atua. Me te vivinga tātanga, wairua tapu, ake. E whakapaini nei kai, heururanga mo mātou tīnana whanga mātou wairua te tara te oro hokinga mea katoa. Āmene. Āmene. Kia ora.